Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine with Behind the Markets. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, July 18th. And today I'd like to talk about the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, who President Trump is really jawboning, trying to get him out of his job and really replace him. And the president has a theory on executive authority called the Unitary executive, which basically is a theory in conservative circles, which gives the president, the chief executive, expansionist powers. It's interesting. He's really been using that to great effect in a lot of different ways, whether it's closing USAID, the education department, doing all these things that are quite controversial. The FDA, the NIH, a lot of changes over there. I actually happen to also believe in the unitary executive theory. I believe that's my interpretation of how the Constitution was written. But one area that I really am not a fan of, and you shouldn't be either, is trying to replace Jerome Powell as the head of the Federal Reserve, because history shows that you do that, you have what market participants see as a Fed that's not really independent. Interest rates go up 100 basis points. So basically, no matter what, it might seem like a good idea. It's like that, when you've had a couple drinks and you think to yourself, maybe a third one would be better, but you go over the edge. It seems like a good idea when you're 2 drinks in or 3 drinks in to have another 1 or 2, but it's not a good idea. You really feel the hangover the next morning. It spins you out a little bit. Same thing with trying to get rid of the Fed chairman. It might seem like a good idea. You can put another Fed chairman in there who is going to lower rates the way you want him to lower them. And you think that's a great idea. But think about it. Let's play the tape. Let's think about what actually that means. First of all, the market stops trusting that new Fed chairman. They think that new Fed chairman is weak, is a puppet, basically. So the market doesn't really trust him. And historically, lots of evidence backing this up, basically what happens is interest rates go higher. They go a full percentage point higher. So mortgage rates would go from 7% to 8%. They might be able to suppress short-term rates under a year or 2, basically rates, real short-term overnight lending rates. But anything longer than that, 10-year and 20-year and 30-year, they go higher. History is just proof of this. And the markets showed that as the president has been floating these trial balloons. Apparently, a story leaked that he asked a few members of Congress, that he told them that in a private meeting that he had drafted a letter to fire the Fed chair, which clearly cannot be fired without cause. And there's not real cause. He's saying there's fraud building out their new headquarters. It's nonsense. It's not a real thing. But he basically threw out a trial balloon in this meeting with the members of Congress, and it leaked that he was thinking about firing. So he's testing the waters. And what happened when that went out, when that was released, the dollar crashed, literally, went down basically 1.2% in minutes, basically. In minutes. Think about it. The dollar went from $1 to 99 cents. People fled the dollar in minutes. In minutes when this came out. More money would leave. We are able to sell bonds to finance these crazy deficits. We have all this money that comes in because we have an independent Fed. It's part of our brand. It's why people trust America. That's why people put trillions of dollars in America, because a lot of other countries don't have an independent Fed. It's why we've had such low interest rates. And it's not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence that the last time we had a Fed chairman who was beholden to a president, Arthur Burns, Richard Nixon, we had the worst inflation of our history in the 70s. Arthur Burns came in wanting to fight inflation. Nixon put incredible pressure on Burns through himself and through proxies. Burns kind of just wanted a bizarrely conservative guy, smart guy, by all accounts a strong guy, but he just got transfixed with pleasing the president. And then we had the inflation crisis of the 70s, which Volcker had to go in there and fix. That is why we are so focused on an independent Fed, because we've learned the hard way how damaging it is when you have a Fed that takes orders from a politician. It's not a good thing. That's the first thing. It just doesn't work. It's not smart, okay? It's just not a good idea. Period. History proves this. Number 2, if President Trump can exercise power over the Fed, imagine some Democratic socialist president comes in after him and he or she is exercising power over the Fed, can you imagine what is going to happen to the value of your dollar? It will just go down. So it is not a good thing. When you look at the dollar index, it collapsed. Your dollar was worth 99 cents in the 30 minutes after it leaked that President Trump was going to fire Powell. The Treasury, the 2-year Treasury, that didn't move much. That actually went down because the Fed would suppress short-term rates. But long-term rates went higher, okay? Also, the S&P 500 dropped. So a lot of things happened when that news leaked. We do not want that to happen, okay? It might sound like a good idea, but it's not a good idea. Unless you, of course, you want your dollar to be worth less. It's a great idea if you want your dollar to be worth less. It's a great idea if you want to pay an extra percentage point for your mortgage. It's a terrific idea if you actually want higher credit card and lending rates. It's a great idea. If those are the things you like, then firing Powell is a great idea. But if you like stable money, low interest rates, then it's not a good idea. Anyway, that's all I have this weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you Monday.